Though it may have had its flaws, the Hogwarts Legacy gameplay showcase was jam-packed with interesting secrets. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking it down to point out all of the little details that you might have missed. So we've already seen the character customization menu in the Hogwarts Legacy Autodesk presentation, so I'm going to mostly skip over that. If you want to see my Autodesk breakdown, the link will be attached. But there is one thing I do want to point out. Right here, we can see an option to choose our character's name, and I do like this feature, but it does have its downside. Basically, it is now impossible for any NPC to call us by our name, which I don't know how I feel about that. In this first gameplay shot, we can see what appears to be a quaffle on top of this cabinet. Next up, we can see this owl, which I assume is our pet. We can see an interactable tea set, which I assume triggers the same animation that we see later in the showcase. We see another quaffle and what appears to be Hufflepuff Quidditch robes, and then we see what appears to be a chocolate frog package and a package of Birdie Bots every flavor beans. In this shot, we can see these two lights flickering, and we can see this all throughout the castle. I think this is a good touch, which really helps the lights just feel a bit more alive. And the final detail in this room is this artwork on the wall. It appears to be a diagram of a Quidditch stadium. Moving out of the dorm room and into the common room, we can see the Chudley Cannons 21 poster is still on this bulletin board. If you don't know the significance of this significance of this poster, I'll attach a link to a great video by Podcast Now explaining it, but basically this is a poster for an event which originally took place in 1892, and this is important because of an infamous newspaper we saw in the gameplay reveal, which made us believe this game took place in 1890. We originally saw this poster in the common room tour videos, and an XHL dev tweeted it was a mistake, which probably broke his NDA. I'm not sure why he would say something like that, but anyway, the fact that it's still here may confirm the game does take place during 1892, or starts in 1890 and goes to 1892. Chandler did say that this save was from a little later on in the game, so the plot thickens. Okay, so returning to the showcase, in this shot we can see a pop-up telling the player that they've collected 1 out of 2 field guide pages in Hogwarts. This one is fairly obvious, but off to the left we can see the door to the kitchens. We can also see this little box with an interaction diamond above it. If you look at the menu we see later in this showcase, you can see the icon for the inventory shows the exact same style of box. Now, I have 2 guesses as to what this might be. My first guess is that this is just a place for us to access our inventory without going to the menu, which seems weird. But my second guess is that this is a mass storage chest with more storage space than our menu inventory. So basically, we store items we don't use a lot here and can move stuff from our local inventory into the mass storage by clicking on this box. Also, in this shot of the menu, we can see a gear tab, which is a new addition since the gameplay reveal. In this shot, we can see 2 boars on the stained glass windows, and if you look closely, you can see that the crystals in the house point hourglasses haven't sifted through at all. I assume this is just because it is an early build. Here we can see that the bottom of this statue has a magical glow. We can also see a huge boar statue at the bottom of the stairs. Also, in the books, the entrance to the dungeons was off of the entrance hall, so I'm wondering if this archway right here might be that entrance. See what appears to be a werewolf statue off to the right. Definitely an interesting option. In this shot right after the MC crosses the bridge, we can see this emblem on the ground, and these symbols correspond to the 4 symbols we can see on the bridge. Whatever this puzzle is, it looks fun. In this shot on the right, we can see another quest giver, and I find it a bit strange that quest givers have golden circles around them. This icon above their heads seemed to be enough. The glowing golden circles seem a bit redundant. Hopefully they'll make these optional or just leave them out, and of course PC modders will make swift work of them if Avalanche doesn't. Also, right up here we can just make out another quest giver. The main part of this Latin isn't completely visible, but the part that is reads never to be tickled while sleeping, which I definitely think needs more context. This part reads knowledge is power. The part of this segment we can read says teaching, and this part reads lifelong learning. I went a little out of order, but this segment reads by difficulties 2. I may have translated this incorrectly, but that appears to be what it says. If you take away the A at the end of what looks like Angus, you get through the narrow to the great, which I think is a bit more powerful. Which translation they intended, I am unsure of. one of these weird question mark things, but it has 2 question marks instead of 1. And then a couple of seconds later, we see another one, but this time only has 1 question mark. I currently do not have a strong theory as to what these are. I have no idea. This door right here appears to be the same one as this door seen in the behind the scenes video. We can see on the minimap that it is the entrance to a tower or circular room, and honestly what this could be isn't coming to mind, but if you know, please let me know in the comments below. As James pointed out, this dragon statue here is the same one seen in the reveal trailer. In this shot, as we talk to Nelly, we can see the student in the background drinking a potion, and a few seconds later, smoke comes pouring out of his mouth or somewhere. And this clearly shows that they do have a good eye for detail. It's just please use this eye for detail for little interactables that go beyond apples and tea. In this next shot, off to the left, we can see a howler and another quest giver. In this shot, we can see a wizard and a witch, who I am convinced are Merlin and Morgana. Here in the Dada classroom, we can see a load of interesting artifacts, including a mermaid statue and some sort of horn. We can also see what appears to be an ostrich skeleton. Also, I know I keep going out of order, but this dragon on the ceiling appears to be a Hebridean black because of its horns, but it does appear to be a younger one because of its size. In the background, we can see a diagram / drawing of what appears to be a thestral. In this next shot, we can see another one of these weird things that we've noticed scattered throughout Hogwarts in other videos. They're very strange, and I just now noticed that they have butterfly designs on them, but that honestly only makes it more confusing, so I don't know. In this shot, we can see a statue of Salazar Slytherin. I can tell this is Slytherin because of the beard. Here, we can see the wizard's bathroom, which has a level 1 lock on it, and a few seconds later, we can see the witch's bathroom. Skipping forward to the combat, we can see that combos seem to slowly increase our ancient magic bar, and then opponents drop ancient magic pickups, which seem to supercharge this ability bar. It's still unclear to me how exactly this bar functions, but I have a feeling they'll be showing it off more in the next showcase. In this shot, we can see an interaction diamond above these students, so this probably means we can interact with most NPCs. In this shot, we can see a hut of some sort. We've already seen what looks like the groundkeeper's hut next to the castle, so this probably isn't that, though it would be a good place for it. Eagle-eyed community members have pointed out that we can see the windows of the Hufflepuff common room on this hillside. So yeah, that was 55 missable details in the Hogwarts Legacy gameplay showcase. If you enjoyed it, consider subscribing and liking the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.